have done a lot of Skytech gaming PC reviews over the past few years, but this one is the most budget friendly that we've tested yet. When it comes to price to performance, Skytech is usually at the top, but we're going to share with you our full experience to help you decide if this specific build is right for you in this 100% honest review of the new Skytech Shadow. This configuration comes with a 9600X CPU and the new 9060 XT GPU. I'm going to quickly take you through the unboxing and what's included, gaming and creator benchmarks, design and build quality, the internals, thermals, fan noise, overall ease of use, pricing breakdowns, and comparing its price to performance ratios against the competition, and my overall top likes and dislikes. If you decide against this PC after anything that I say in this video, just keep watching because I'm also going to be sharing with you some alternative PCs that I recommend for every budget. I'll include links down below for all the products that I mentioned, as well as tag directly on this video or using a QR code if you're watching on a TV. I guarantee that by the end of this video, you will know if this PC is right for you or not. But if you still have any questions after watching this entire video, just shoot me a comment, and if you're publicly subscribed, I guarantee a personal response. All right, now let's rewind back into the past real quick and check out what came in the box. Another one bites the dust. Last time with the Vengeance A7500, it was UPS. Now it's FedEx with major box damage. Let's see if that damaged the computer. First thing that we've got inside here is a Skytech gaming folder with a pretty cheesy thank you card, troubleshooting and maintenance guides, a very obvious quick start guide, and a quality control certificate. And just like all other Skytech pre-builds we've reviewed, this one also comes with a Skytech K1000 gaming keyboard. Pretty basic overall, nothing fancy. I do kind of wish that we had more options for the RGB in this one. I'm just a little tired of being locked into a non-moving gradient with these Skytech keyboards. They also give you a Skytech gaming mouse, and this one I actually do like. This design not only looks really cool, but it keeps my hand from getting too sweaty. And lastly, we've got a user manual for the mouse, your typical massive power cable, Wi-Fi antennas, and some extra SATA cables. Yeah, so the bottom corner of the frame was actually damaged so bad in shipping that the foot won't even snap back on. So I actually had to tape it back on. Thank you, FedEx. Now, when it comes to the overall design, it's not the fanciest looking case by any means, but for a pre-built in this price range, it's actually pretty good. The most iconic feature that makes this one stand out is this really cool glow bar that runs along the bottom edge of all sides of this case except for the back. The front three RGB fans are this PC's main intake fans, and the single back fan is its only exhaust. There's no exhaust fans on the top either. They're basically just relying on the heat naturally rising out the top. For those of you new to PC gaming, this fourth fan in here is actually dedicated to this air cooler, which is a very important part designed to keep your CPU from getting too hot. And just to the right of our CPU, the RAM they gave us in here is Team Group T-Create Expert DDR5 RAM with speeds of 6,000 megahertz. We've got two 8GB sticks in here for a total of 16. Then underneath the CPU is our SSD and the main drive that our operating system and everything else is installed on. This one they included in here is a 1TB Lexar NQ700, and when we tested it, we got speeds of only about 4,200 megabytes per second read and 1700 write. This is decent for the read speed, but pretty slow for the write speed compared to what else is out there. Not really something that you'll notice in gaming though. And right here in the middle is the most important part of this PC, our AMD Radeon PowerColor 9060 XT GPU. A pretty small and not super powerful GPU, but it is very inexpensive. And this is one of the main reasons that this PC has an incredible price to performance ratio, and we'll get to that here in a sec. You can see that behind the GPU, we've got 3 extra PCIe slots, but only the bottom 2 are actually available with the GPU in there. Then in the bottom right corner of this Gigabyte B650M CV2 motherboard that everything is installed on is 1 extra SSD slot for more high-speed storage. And to the right of all that, on the case itself, we've also got 2 more bays available for 2.5-inch SATA SSDs. Then swinging around to the back, you can see that technically we have enough room for a 2-bay 3.5-inch hard drive bracket. They just don't include one here for some reason. And then the only other thing back here is the power supply they chose for this build. build, which is a non-modular Gamdias Helios P1650G 650 watt power supply. This is a cheaper power supply, which is fine for this build, but if you do plan to upgrade your GPU, just keep in mind that you're probably looking at replacing your power supply soon after that. For the ports on the front, we've got one USB-C, two USB-As, a dedicated microphone and dedicated headphone jack, an LED button for controlling the RGB, reset button, and your main power button. On the back, an HDMI and DisplayPort that are connected directly to your motherboard. These you're only going to use as a backup if your GPU isn't working properly. Then we've got a PS2 port for older keyboards and mice, 8 more USB-As and 1 more USB-C, connectors for your Wi-Fi antennas, an RJ45 Ethernet port, and your audio jacks. Then on the back of that AMD 9060 XT GPU, 1 HDMI and 2 display ports. Now when it comes to the software, the only pre-installed application on this PC is Signal RGB. Initially, I wasn't too impressed with Signal RGB when Skytech first started bundling it, as it often failed to recognize certain components, leading to unsynchronized lighting. However, things have improved significantly. The latest systems that I've tested with it this year have run without any issues. Signal RGB also stands out for offering some of the most distinctive RGB lighting effects. While it does technically allow fan profile adjustments, which give you the ability to fine-tune cooling and performance, you're gonna have to pay extra for that feature, which to me is a bit unreasonable. If you are interested in further tweaks like overclocking, thankfully the BIOS does provide a variety of manual options for advanced users. But if you want a more simple solution without even going into the BIOS, I recommend downloading the Gigabyte Control Center. This will also let you control your fan profiles and RGB animations for free, like it should be. Now, when it came to the fan noise, these were my results after testing the main fan profiles in my studio, a much quieter than normal room with very little ambient noise. In quiet mode, it was just a little over 41.7 decibels. And then when gaming in default standard mode, it brought the fan noise up to around 45 decibels. This was about average when idle in quiet mode, but a little louder than average when gaming in the default standard profile. The fans produced neither an irritatingly high or low pitch though, and with your game sound up, you're unlikely to even notice them. Now for the thermals, you can see in our thermal imaging time-lapse from computer off to full-on gaming that as usual, we do get some heat built up on the glass right next to the GPU. Taking off the glass panel and moving in closer, we can see a little bit more in detail where some of the hotter areas are. That SSD honestly does get a little hotter than we'd like. So if you do a lot of copying large files back and forth constantly, then I recommend you get a heatsink for it. They're very inexpensive. I got this one here for less than $8, and I've seen it bring temperatures down by 20 degrees before. You can see at the top that the majority of the heat that leaves this PC exits out the left side, with not much happening on the right. The large majority of our testing was spent in actual gameplay though. These were our CPU temps for several different games at 1080p. Pretty cool overall, even though they were just slightly warmer on average than the other two PCs that we tested with almost identical performance. Things changed dramatically when we jumped into 4K gaming though. We're focusing on the GPU temperatures here because high resolution gaming puts a lot more pressure on the GPU and eases up on the CPU. You can see that the 9060 XT GPU in this PC was ridiculously cooler than the 5060s and that ABS Cyclone and AVGPC Max. I predict this GPU to have a longer lifespan because of this. Average GPU temperatures in the low 40s during 4K gaming is really impressive. Now getting into the performance and gaming benchmarks, and up next, the most important part of this review, the price to performance ratios. For Cinebench R23, which simulates its 3D rendering power, we got a multi-core score of a little over 16,000. Putting it up next to other PCs in the same price range, you can see that this is not the best PC for 3D rendering. It is interesting though that it actually performed better here than that AVGPC Whirlwind that actually had a slightly better CPU. This was a little weird, but we got similar results in our other main 3D rendering software as well. Our V-Ray performance score for the Skytech Shadow again came in ahead of that AVGPC Whirlwind. I still wouldn't get either of these for 3D rendering though. That ABS Cyclone Aqua is not much more expensive and is a much better performer in this category. We did, however, get a score in the expected range for DaVinci Resolve though. This demonstrates a significant advantage in 4K editing performance for that AVGPC Whirlwind over the Skytech Shadow. For 3D Mark, which is a pretty good benchmark used to predict a computer's overall gameability, we got an overall score of just a little under 15,000. The main reason its overall score is quite a bit lower than that AVGPC Whirlwind is due to that 9070 XT being so much more powerful than a 9060 XT. You can actually see again we got a stronger CPU score for the Skytech Shadow. Actual gaming benchmarks are probably what you guys care the most about though. These were our average and 1% low FPS numbers that we got for several games at their highest presets at 1080p. This is not bad considering the price of this PC, especially with how high these graphics settings were cranked up. Then putting the average gaming FPS overall next to the other recent pre-built PCs, you can see it's just barely above the ABS Cyclone and AVGPC Max in average FPS, but below the ABS when factoring in the 1% lows. Putting this Skytech and ABS next to each other shows you which kind of games they each did better on. Then at 1440p, as we start to rely more on the power of the GPU, this Skytech and the two below it close the gap a bit as their average FPS came very close to each other. But then at 4K, this Skytech Shadow came ahead just barely on both the average FPS and 1% lows. But I would not consider these playable numbers. You really want those 1% FPS lows to be closer to 60 FPS or more. So you're gonna have to crank your graphics settings way down if you need 4K. Now, as far as factoring in the price to performance of this PC, right now at the time of this recording, this PC just dropped in price to $1,080. It also sits around 4th place in our dollar per FPS ratios charts for 1440p and 4K gaming, which is not bad, but I think most people will be gaming at 1080p with this one. And our 1080p chart confirms that this is one of the absolute best value gaming PCs that you can find right now at that resolution. This one actually has the second best price to performance value out of all the gaming PCs that we've ever tested. The best value for 1080p gaming is actually the AVGPC Max. This one is only $850 with a Ryzen 5 5600 and 5060 GPU. That's dirt cheap. And if you remember, it had very close to the same performance as this more expensive Skytech Shadow and that ABS Cyclone Aqua. These PCs will have about the same performance as an Xbox Series X or a PS5. And speaking of that AVGPC Max, that's actually a pretty good transition into my other recommended PCs section. I'll have links below in the comments and description for each of these as well. If you don't care about the pretty basic and bland design, I actually recommend the AVGPC Max over the Skytech Shadow because of its insane price right now. If you just need something to get by with simple games or normal games at low settings, then I would get this MXZ gaming PC. This one is only $530. You can see in our charts that most games were actually playable at 1080p with very low graphic settings. They just won't look pretty. If you can actually afford more than the Skytech Shadow that I'm reviewing today, then I would get this iBuyPower Slate 9. This specific one with a 7800X 3D CPU and 9070 XT GPU. This PC absolutely crushed it in our 1440p and 4K price to performance chart. The only PC with a slightly better value at 4K is that AVGPC Whirlwind. That one is the same price as that iBuyPower, and as you can see in our tests, nearly identical gaming performance at every resolution. If you want much better performance and graphics than this, then you're gonna need to be in the $2,000 range or higher. For way more options in the mid-range to high-end categories, click up here in the top right corner to check out my top 20 recommended gaming PCs of the year. Overall, my least favorite things about this PC are its performance for creative applications, its slower than average SSD speeds, a cheaper power supply that will probably need to be replaced if you ever upgrade your GPU, and the fact that it arrived broken. I highly doubt that's Newegg or Skytech's fault though. FedEx. My favorite things about this PC though are its pretty decent design for a budget PC, its gaming performance at 1080p, and most importantly, its price to performance ratio that nearly topped the charts. If you do decide to purchase this PC or any of the others that I mentioned, then please remember to use my affiliate links in the comments and description below, or tag directly on this video, or using a QR code if you're watching on a TV, as I get a small commission at no cost to you for every single purchase made. And it's actually a major factor in keeping this channel going and getting better and better for you. I'd also like to thank all of my members for their monthly support of this channel. Also make sure to like, comment, and subscribe with notifications turned on to stay up to date with all of our latest tech and gaming PCs. PC gaming is awesome, but trust me, please do not let it consume your life. What helps me mentally is getting outside, staying active, eating healthy, and spending more time with my family. Also, studies have shown that reading the Bible 4 times a week can massively boost your mental health, and I can vouch for that. And if you are a little skeptical about the Bible, then check out the book or documentary, The Case for Christ.